Woo-hee! Right, update time. I've managed to catch one. Come on. Welcome to a new video. We're back on a bank and you join us in the Cotswolds. We are doing a open access day ticket fishing video and we are on a place called Lake 300. It's a new venue for us, so hopefully we're going to be in with a chance of having a fish. Now, if you like this sort of content, then please subscribe to the channel and check out our social media showing at the bottom of the screen now. Well, I better crack on and see if I can catch one, so let's see how we get on.
Right then, well, good morning, and unfortunately nothing to report. We did arrive last night, but by the time we'd done a lap of the lake, spotted a couple of fish and deployed 4 zigs. Yeah, unfortunately it was pitch black, so the filming took a bit of a back seat. But yeah, how was your night's sleep? Any good?
Yeah, mine wasn't too bad, to be fair. I mean, I was a bit knackered after having to do 2 barrow loads to the swim. I'm borrowing Hugh's kit to the swim because someone hurt his foot at football because he's too old to be playing football. So being a team player and borrowing his kit to the swim.
Cheers, Des.
Luckily we ain't got far to go. We're fishing these couple of swims here. So someone thinks he's young enough to still play football, and after messing up his ankle, I think, or I hope, he has now realised he's old and he can't play football anymore. So yeah, he's got a ruined ankle, so I had to actually borrow his kit to the swim, but luckily it wasn't too far from the vans. But like you said, we've put some zigs out. Unfortunately, no bites in the night. I stayed up pretty late trying to see if I could hear anything, and I did hear one show which I managed to get a zig on, but it's not produced a bite. So I think the plan of attack for the day is trying to stay quite mobile and see if we can get on some fish. When we got her yesterday, there was a few knocking about, cruising around, and I think they were active. So I'm gonna get on the move. Hugh's also gonna do the same, and we're gonna try and cover a few different areas and see if we can have a bite. So fingers crossed, mate.
Come on, as that sun comes up, they're gonna be up in the water. Let's go find them.
So let's get on it and see if we can have one.
Yeah, well.
Woo-hee!
Right then, well, just another little update for you then. So we're a couple hours on from our morning update, and yeah, we've seen a couple show in my area over towards the reed, so I've deployed those zigs towards those shows, but unfortunately nothing as of yet. I've also had the phone call from home. The little one's been up since about 11 o'clock being ill, so yeah, the missus is absolutely broken, bless her heart. So I've been requested to make it on home, so that 24-hour session's turned into a bit of an overnighter, and as you can see from behind me, the barrow's already starting to be loaded. But yeah, I'm going to leave you in Shaun's capable hands. He's got until sort of early afternoon before he's got to get off to work, so yeah, fingers crossed he can make it happen for you. And yeah, from me, always enjoy your fishing.
Right, Hugh's gone now then. Like you said, he had to get back for the family. Family's first at the end of the day, so he's got to go home. I've only got until sort of early afternoon. I've got to go to work this evening, so it is quite a short session. Obviously we got here late last night. It dropped really cold, so it was tricky conditions. I think zigs were definitely the way to go, but it just didn't happen. Having said that, I did have what might have been a bite on my rod out in open water on one of the zigs. It pulled up tight, the bobbin pulled up to the alarm, a little bit of line come off the reel. I lifted into it and it was just solid with weed. So I don't know whether a fish has done me or whether something's come through and it's gone through the line, or a trader maybe has pulled it into the weed, but it was some sort of indication. I put both the rods out into that zone after that anyway, and that's why I've stayed put for the time being. I was going to move and see if I can locate some other fish. But as that's happened, I've stayed put and put both rods out into that zone. But while I've been sat here watching the water, I've actually caught sight of some fish cruising in close. There's been quite a few sort of passing through under my feet pretty much. So I've actually brought one of the rods back in, and I fished it quite close in on a zig sort of mid-depth just in front of me, basically, to hopefully try and see if I can get one of those fish to show a bit of interest as it comes through. So I'm just acting on what I'm seeing at the moment. Like I said, I don't know the lake at all. It's the first session on here. There's not a huge amount of information around about the place. We've got a ticket in a tackle box. They said there's a few hundred fish in here. It's after coming here and looking around, it's broken up into almost like 3 sections of water. It's quite an unusual lake. And we've kind of seen fish in all the areas of the lake, really. Fish tucked up under some of the trees. We saw fish in open water yesterday, which is why we got into the swim here, and Hugh was in next door to me. That's where we saw the most fish showing. There's been a few fish up under the trees in different areas, but not really looking like they're interested. They're more just sat up under there for a bit of comfort, really. But because the fish are cruising through in front of me, I do think they're coming from the tree line up to my right. So what I might do is stick with the original game plan, which was to basically pack down and move around onto another area where I can fish across to that tree line, and just probably fish a couple of zigs across to it, to be honest, and just see if I can nick a bite doing that. But I can only do what I can do. I'm just acting on what I see. So I don't think it's a really productive venue. It's not a runs water by any chance. The guys in the shop said it is quite tricky, so I'm not expecting multiple bites. I'm just thinking I might be able to nick one fish, which is the aim of the game. So hopefully we can have one. But obviously I'll show you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. I haven't got that long to go, really. It's a very short session, but fingers crossed we will end up having a fish to show you before we have to go. Right, we're on the move. So I've seen a few more fish cruising along this tree line on my left. So this tree line is where I've seen a lot of fish cruising around. Now right up under the trees there's actually quite a bit of weed, and also looking at it there is quite a bit of weed out a bit further. So presentation is definitely going to be tricky, but there's definitely fish up under here. Obviously it gives them some sanctuary. We've got a bit of a raft they can hide up under, and it's got a good bit of sun on it, so it's probably a nice compromise between getting the sun and feeling safe. But that's a nice thick tree down there. Yeah, I think that's fish down there we're looking at it. Yeah, there's one sat up under that raft. So yesterday, I think it was along here, we've seen some fish in the back of this. Oh, there's one sat out just past the tree line there. I don't know if you can see that. He's just out past the tree line. There's another one a little bit deeper as well. Well, there's definitely a few along here, and they're not on the deck. They're definitely up in the water enjoying that sun. Oh, there's another one down there behind that tree. They're literally right on the outskirts of the tree. Yeah, there's a fish out there. Only thing is, they don't look that interested. There's one coming along here. You might be able to see this one. Just on the edge of these reeds. Just going down underneath this little bit of a raft. He's turned around and going back the other way. So there's obviously a few down here. Put the rods on the extreme. I'm not going to be able to fish right in that corner. It's going to be too awkward, I think. I think I'm going to have to sort of fish across to that little bit of the tree line there. Right, let's give it a go. We haven't got long. right in the end. Little flick over. Right, we're going to have to fish a pretty light drag. Right, update time. I've managed to catch one. Come on. So I have managed to catch myself a tree, and I've also managed to catch the sun. So yeah, not really the intended species. But no, on a serious note though, I've moved swims, and it's been quite tricky in this swim. It's very awkward. I've got trees all around this either side of the swim, and casting a zigzag has been hard work. I have actually tried the old adjustable on the barrow there, but I've retired that because it just would not separate, and I couldn't get it to pop up in the weed. It was really tricky to get it to work, so I've had to stick with the fixed zigs, and then fishing them both about 9 foot. Now I walked around before coming over here and just had a look along the tree line, and I could see there's definitely a few fish along there. There's not loads, but there's definitely quite a few along there, and enough to get a bite. So I'm quite confident on that. I did film it on the GoPro, but I don't know how well it would have come out, but I'm confident there's some fish out there, and that's all you can do. If you can get on the fish, it's then in their sort of decision to pick up a hook bait in it. So I've got 2 black bit of foam out there on the old zigs, and we'll see what happens. Now I've got a long rod rest on because of the nature of the swim, and I'm fishing right down quite angled to the bank. So I've got a long rod rest, and then the buzzer bar's on top, and I've just got quite a light drag. I'm going to be on the rod straight away if I get a bite, because I'm literally just stood here. So yeah, the lines are obviously going quite high down through the water, but I'm fishing zig, so it doesn't really matter, to be fair. I'm not trying to get the fish down on the spot, so spooking them on the lines isn't a massive problem. And to be fair, the fish are the other side in the trees, so they're going to be coming out from the trees and hitting the hook bait first, ideally. Oh, that's the idea anyway. But anyway, we fished a night. Just show you quickly, we actually fished a night over on this bit here, fishing into this open water, and there's some reeds down further on the far side, which Hugh was fishing across to, and there were fish showing there last night. They didn't seem to be there again this morning. Oh well, they showed a little bit this morning, and then they've just disappeared. So I think they've drifted off to mooch around the lake, really. I think the fish are quite active and moving around in this sun, just cruising about and enjoying having a bit of warmth on their backs. But anyway, I haven't got long to go. I've got about an hour and a half. I think it's about midday now, so hopefully we're in with a chance of getting one. I haven't really done a lot of filming, to be honest. This is probably going to be a little bit more of a raw vlog, I think, for a change, instead of the more sort of cinematic stuff, because I've just not had time to get any other footage. We got here late last night. Hugh's obviously had to get on the move this morning, so he was working quite hard before he went with the zigs to try and get a bite before he went. I've obviously then been chopping and changing the zigs, trying to get a bite in my swim. I've then moved around here, so I've not had a lot of time to get any other stuff. So in terms of the content, if you're new to the channel, this isn't the normal style really. It's normally a lot more interesting, a lot more cinematic to watch, but just the nature of the session, we're doing a short sort of session. I've not had the time to really be able to get any decent content, so hopefully you still enjoy it. Anyway, I'm not going to talk on too much because it's probably just getting boring, so I'll update you in a bit if anything happens, and I'm going to stand there, enjoy the sun, and I'm going to crack open a drink and just chill for a bit, and hopefully I'll be updating you with a fish. Right, it's that time. I've got to go to work. Kit's loaded into the van. Unfortunately, it is a blank. Nothing happened in the end, but it was nice to fish a different venue. Hopefully it's given you a bit of an insight into the venue itself and what to expect if you are looking at coming here. Definitely a little bit tricky compared to some of the day tickets out there, but I think the conditions probably were a little bit against us as well. I'm sure if it was a nice mild and a bit of wet day, the fish would have their heads down and probably be looking at feeding, but at the moment they're definitely more interested in cruising about and soaking up that sun. But yeah, it was nice to get a bit of sun on my back, and it was an enjoyable session even though nothing happened. Shame Hugh had to go, but that is life at the end of the day, to be honest. So anyway, I'm going to get on the road and get going to work, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Check out the social media shown at the bottom of the screen now, and until next time, get out there, be lucky, and I will see you in the next video.